morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good day, good night, whatever you are. It's morning for me, so good morning. So today we're going to be talking about our senses, our internal filters, and how they affect our judgment. Nice cup of tea. We have five senses, which we all know. We see, we hear, we feel, we smell, we taste. Yeah, and they're affected by external events. So warmth, cold, nice taste, bad taste, pleasant sounds, not so pleasant sounds, nice smells, not so nice smells, beautiful things to look at, not so many beautiful things to look at. Can you see what I'm talking about here? So these things are how we tend to think, and we receive the information from outside. So once we use these five senses, with these five senses, we go internally with them. Yeah. Now our brain then makes sense of what we're sensing. So we have filters, and our filters are really affected by our preconceptions. So that's what a filter is: a preconception, an idea, something we've learned. We tend to either distort or generalize the information that we're getting, because we tend to think that we've seen what we've seen before, or we see a certain person, or we've sat on a bus with a certain person, or we work with a certain person, or we wake up and we live with maybe somebody we love, or we live with people that we don't get on with so well as flatmates. So we tend to, distort and generalize the situation that's in front of us. And through that, then we delete certain information and we absorb the certain information that we want, yeah? That creates an internal movie, that creates an internal emotion, a state, yeah? And that then gives us behavior. That behavior that we have, whether we're with somebody we love, our behavior is positive, so we get positive results. If we're with people that we don't like, our behavior is negative, and then we internally get negative results, which then further affects the external event and creates, you get it, the reaction of our reaction. So positive people, which are productive, which have a great outlook on life, and are able to absorb what's going on in front of them and detach their emotional filters that kind of distort their view on the world around them, are able to carve through, like I was talking about yesterday on your little boat, carve through this emotional ocean, yeah? And the emotional ocean around you, if you're able to carve through that because you're staying centered, you're able to perform at a totally different level to people around you. Now, these are people which are highly successful in life. These are people that become highly successful. The ones that can actually do this are masters of their own destiny. These are people that you look at and they have a different energy about them. And when you start talking about somebody in a bad way, they're able to ask you why you think like that. And then they put you in check and they get you thinking about the way you are. Now, we've all met these people and you think, God, that guy's really smart. He's super intelligent. He is and he isn't. The truth is he's just super self-aware. So I'm aware of my vessel. I'm aware of myself. I know what's great for Nick. I know how I work intrinsically. I know how to make myself happy. And you say, you might be saying to me now, but you find this stuff easy. To be honest with you, I don't. I never used to. I do find it easier now, and I'm getting much, much better at doing it now. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had some really bad things happen to me, and I'm still able to see them positively, and I'm really proud of myself for that. I give you a couple of instances. I might have got a speeding ticket because I went about 5 or 6 kilometers over the speed limit when I was driving my camper van back with my wife after delivering some wheels I sold. So I got money for the wheels because I need to sell the wheels to get some money to pay some debts before I lose my job. I've lost my job. Yesterday, a filling fell out of my tooth, and now I've got to spend money on that as well, which is going to cost me in Sweden about 150 to 200 odd pounds, like 1,500 to 2,000 krona. That's what that is, yeah, to get that fixed. And I've got to phone them up at 8 o'clock this morning to try and get an emergency appointment. and I've got a little bit of toothache, and I'm sitting here still smiling, still being positive, because I'm choosing that these things are not going to affect me. I know that I'm going to carve myself a career in what I'm doing right now, and I know that I'm going to be changing people's lives, and what I'm doing is to benefit people. You might be seeing me because you've known me all of your life and having a filter of me. People that don't know me and now they're going to watch my videos for the first time and they've never known who I am will be seeing me with fresh eyes. They won't know who I was. They won't know what I've been through. They won't know the person that you preconceive me as. It's your choice to either see the Nick that's sat here right now or have a preconception of what you think Nick is. If you see what I am and the information that I'm giving you and the way that I'm giving you this information, and that there's a highly intelligent person that's got a lot of useful information and he generally wants to help you, or you could say, oh, he's being egotistical, he's only doing this because he wants to be important. If I was doing something to be important, I would have carried on DJing, or I would have carried on cutting hair and heading in that direction with that career. I'm choosing to do life coaching and personal development, which is a hard thing for me to move into. It's a brand new career for me to start moving into. And through this, I'm going to be applying for jobs in that sector. And I'm presently doing an education to get a qualification to be an NLP master coach. And I'm doing all of this to really move my life forward. So I'm offering you part of what I'm learning, and I'm passing this information on to you as I'm picking it up. So I thought it would be very useful for you. So think about this now. I'll just go through it one more time. We have an external event, positive or negative. We sense it through our five senses. Yeah. From our five senses, we have internal reference. We tend to filter, preconceive. Yeah. We tend to distort, generalize, or delete information, or we try to keep certain aspects of the information in a context. Our emotional status, if we're not happy, we're going to distort and delete certain information and see what we want to see. And if we're happy, we're going to distort and delete certain information and also see what we have to see. Yeah? We then create an internal movie of a scenario that's happening in front of us while we're in it. Our imagination, we start to imagine stuff. That affects our internal state, our emotional self. And once we have an emotional movement, it's very difficult for not to believe in how we're feeling about that. And if we're feeling a certain way, positive or negative, that affects our behavior. And that then gives us a result. Our behavior affects the result affects then the external event. So we are responsible for how we react to something. Nobody can make you feel any other way than you choose to feel. Some people have proven that, like the Dalai Lama lost his country, he lost everything, and yet he still is a super positive, zened out person. He could have been bitter and twisted and started shouting about evil Chinese and they did this and, you know, they shot, killed, murdered, destroyed and did horrific things to the Tibetans in Tibet. And if you read about it, it's horrific. Yet he still chooses to forgive. What an incredible man. And how does he do that? Because he has an amazing internal reference. He realizes that is exactly the reaction that the Chinese want, so they can say he's not a true master. So they've tried everything to knock him off his throne of being a true Buddhist master, and still he's proven them wrong. Because his internal reference is cleansed. He's a positive, zened out person, and he sees the truth in every situation. So, for today, just try to be a little bit more aware. If you have somebody that you've not really got on with before, don't allow that internal reference to come in. Just listen to them, because everybody makes mistakes and we all do bad things to people sometimes, and we choose to ignore what we've done to other people. We don't intentionally do things to upset people, but maybe we've upset them and they don't like us, and that's why they're reacting to us that way. And maybe we've created that problem and now we think they're bad, but really maybe we did something bad to them first. So we have to think about that. So good morning, everybody. This is Namaste Nick, and have an amazing day. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, and subscribe.